Before you met me, I was alright, but things were kinda heavy. You brought me to life. Now every February, you'll be my Valentine. Valentine, let's go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Monica Herrera, news editor of Billboard.com, and this is our latest live Q&A. Our guest, you probably know him as Blaine on Glee. It's Darren Criss. Thanks for being with us.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Monica's a trooper because she had to listen to me for like 6 hours explaining my whole life story. So,
I did.
So
It's
now she has to
true,
put up
but
with me even more in real life.
I loved every hour of it, and we're going to do 30 more minutes right now, which is going to be great.
It's a long time.
Darren is here to answer the questions that you guys have sent in on Twitter. It's not too late to get your question in if you're just getting to this now. Just tweet us at billboard.com with the hashtag BBDarren, and I'll be reading them live on the air, so you might just get your question asked.
It's BB Darren.
BB Darren, yes.
That's very cute.
Yeah, you might be trending.
Oh,
by the end of
Billboard.
this. Billboard
Okay,
Darren,
well,
exactly.
It just sounds very adorable. BB Darren.
It is adorable. Okay, so let's go. You were obviously just on the cover of our magazine, which we can show right here.
Wait, what?
You were on the
way.
cover
I'm
of
kidding.
Billboard.
Very cool. Yes. I was.
And the reason why is because your album came out.
Yes,
Glee presents.
Glee, the music presents
the
Warblers.
Exactly.
It was pretty awesome. We just released an all Warbler record. If you're not familiar, that just has a bunch of tracks that the Warblers have done over the course of season 2. In fact, one of the songs on that album is Tonight. If my calculations are correct. Yeah, Somewhere Only We Know, the Keen song. I think it got leaked. It's online somewhere,
Yeah,
but the whole
absolutely.
episode is tonight, so that'll be cool because I
Tonight
haven't
is
seen it.
the prom episode?
No,
Or is
it's
okay.
the Oh no, tonight. I think tonight's the long one.
Tonight
It's
is
the
the one with
90-minute
Born
one.
This Way.
Born This
and-
Way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to see it.
Have you
yeah.
seen it yet?
No, of course not. I
Okay.
never see it until it's way after everyone sees
Really?
it. I watched it on Hulu. Can I not plug Hulu? I watched it
No,
on the internet
it's fine.
later when I can.
What did you think? I mean, when you first came out with Teenage Dream, obviously, and you first saw it, was it weird watching yourself on the show? Or?
Yes. It was weird watching myself on Glee because when I joined it, it was already this big thing. So yeah, it's weird. I have this bizarre disassociation with myself. There's this guy on TV with slick back hair and a blazer with red piping, and there's this schmuck that I know. And I really can't connect the two of them together. So when I watch TV, I'm like, look at this weenie. So
Yeah.
it was very weird. It's very surreal and very just. I mean, it was cool. It looked a lot cooler than I remember doing it because I'm sweating. I'm just nerve-wracked, making sure I can hit my marks. And I'm still the new guy, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not
Right.
causing any trouble and just doing what I'm told. And it's amazing how movie magic, man.
Yeah,
It's
they
pretty
make you look
incredible.
good.
They make you look very good because
sure.
I certainly didn't feel good. I was a wreck that day.
And the album is actually going to be the top debut on our Billboard 200 album chart.
Oh,
this
wow.
week. I don't know if you know that, but it comes out tomorrow. And
Very cool.
You guys are definitely going to be the top debut. I mean, how does it feel to have people responding to music like that?
Wow, it's incredible. I mean, I didn't know how long I was going to be around on Glee, much less if I was going to have more songs, much less an album. So it's just a continual adding of bonus concepts that I could have never. I still can't comprehend. So the fact that there's been a positive response to it is something that I don't even know how to begin to be thankful for.
All right. And you said, I don't know if you've seen this episode tonight, but have you heard the version of Born This Way that New Directions
No,
did?
I haven't. I can't
Okay.
wait. I mean, I'm honestly, I am always super behind in everything because Blaine does go to another school. I'm kind of on a separate page, really. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the episode just as much as anyone else is.
Yeah, and you've performed with Leah Michelle, who's Rachel Berry on the show, and Kurt, obviously, Chris Colfer. Are you going to perform with anyone else from New Directions at any point?
Not that I know of. I mean, things can change because we're shooting the final episode right now. You never know what's going to happen. I think this album kind of marks the kind of climax for the Warblers. I mean, you never know what's in the future. You really never do.
Yeah.
But because they have lost regionals, and it's now it's time to focus on the new direction. So
Right.
whatever story might be happening with Blaine, I think has to take a backseat, and you really have to focus on sort of the forefront of the show, which are the new directions. But,
So no Warblers at nationals.
well, not nationals, but they will be on tour, if I can plug that.
Yes,
The tour is happening this summer, and I just found out that the Warblers themselves are going to be, or a number of them are going to be with me on tour. So that'll be
Nice.
really, really cool, because the kids at McKinley have their little family. I joined; they're already kind of in their own clique, and they're all really lovely. But I got to start in my own school with my own group of people, and I'm really close with those guys, and they're really, really great. So I'm really excited about that. And so I don't know, maybe on tour I'll be doing some numbers with Leah or Chris or any of the other new directions, but you never know.
Yeah. So take it back for a second to before Glee.
Okay.
You were in college. How did you kind of get to the point where you were juggling what you were doing with school into trying to get a career going with TV and singing?
Yeah, I started at least professionally, at least in kind of an organized manner. I got really lucky the year before my senior year of college, where I was out in LA just to see some friends, and it's one of these classic tales of right place, right time. You meet the right people. Things escalated very quickly. The kind of thing that if someone else told me that story, I'd be like, screw this guy. Like that's not how it works.
Too easy.
It was, I got very extreme, and I recognize this sort of the anomaly that my particular situation has been to a lot of young actors. But I met some really great people, and I was very blessed. And I kind of set up shop with a really great agency right before my senior year of college. So I was very intent on finishing school and I'm kind of an academic at heart, and I really, enjoy the University of Michigan.
What was your major?
I was a theater major.
Okay.
I had a BFA in theater and performance acting. And at one point I had a musicology degree and an Italian degree, but I decided that I kind of wanted to graduate in 4 years, and that I didn't need to validate my knowledge of either thing with a degree. That, with Italian, you just speak Italian, and that's your degree, so I don't have to fight anybody. It's like I speak Italian. And with musicology, you can always read a book and listen to music. So so I got the theater degree, and so I've always been an actor, and whether it be theater or I used to do a lot of auditions as a kid, but I wanted to finish school, and so right when I left, I kind of hit the ground sprinting in LA with a great agency, and I was just auditioning a lot, and oddly enough, I went out for the Glee pilot, but that's just kind of a funny story.
Which part did you audition for?
I went out for, I don't even know if it was the same name at the time. Like, Sue wasn't even a character yet. Kurt wasn't a character yet. It was a very different story.
Okay.
I think it would have been what is now Finn.
Okay.
But like,
You would have been a jock, basically.
I would have been a jock, yeah. But when I went out for it, I was like, I'm not a jock character. It's like, as an actor, you go out for a lot of stuff where you're like, this isn't really me, and so you don't take it personally at all. And the amount of parts that I haven't gotten are like huge in comparison to the parts that I have, which I can count on my hand.
You have a lot of StarKid fans out there, fans of the Very Potter musical, which you did in college.
Yeah, go StarKids.
A lot of people have been asking stuff about that, but I mean, do you still keep in touch with them? I know you're still working with them.
Of course, yeah. No, that's kind of the blood in my veins, as I've said. So to kind of add on to so that was the acting thing, and I was always singing and always writing music, kind of in my own capacity. Just playing random venues when I could, and I had bands here and there, and I always played music with my brother, and so that was just kind of weaving in and out of my life when I had time. But the StarKid thing happened kind of accidentally, because I had a good group of friends in college who, in the theater department, if you're in any theater department in any college or university, it's kind of this very inherently family-like situation. So we all live together, we all write together, we all laugh together and party together. So that kind of bred this kind of mini company where we would always write projects, and I would write music for those projects, and some of us would be in them. And so the last thing we did before we graduated was a Harry Potter musical, and that was kind of a huge viral success for us right when I graduated. And this is right when I moved to LA. This is right when I booked my first show on television. So everything hit at once, and it was extremely overwhelming. But since then, because of the platform that the StarKid fans have given us, we started a company and have done 4 musicals since, and I'm in the process.
And there's a StarKid album in the works too, right?
The cast album for our last musical, Starship,
Okay.
is the show itself actually is being released on YouTube YouTube this weekend. And
nice.
we're doing screenings in Chicago, New York, and LA, all of which I think are sold out. But you can definitely check out teamstarkid.com for more info.
Awesome.
Yeah, but that album's going to drop some point in the next month, so we're really excited about that because that's all my music and lyrics.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
A lot going on.
Yeah, no rest for the weary.
And let's see, you mentioned you used to perform with your brother. He's in a band. Right?
Yeah, my brother's in Freelance Wales, amazing little indie group out of Queens, and that album's doing really well, and they are just finishing up their headlining tour with another great band, Foals. And they
played Coachella.
They played at Coachella, exactly.
Which you saw.
Yes, I was at Coachella.
Covered in paint.
Yes, as you should. Shirtless and covered in paint. No, that's fine. As most people should do.
The photo was on Ellen. It's okay. I mean.
No, I gave those photos to Ellen.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
that was my choice. I wanted. Yeah, that's the uniform I think one should have when you're in the middle of the desert and surrounded by music and fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was amazing. It was really special for me to see my brother at something so awesome as Coachella, something that is just because bands are excited to go to Coachella. It's special for everybody involved. I mean, the artists are psyched to be there, the crowd is psyched to be there, and my brother and the Whales have had a very interesting kind of similarity to StarKid, which is that they both kind of got to where they were in this, or are in this organic viral way. I mean, the Whales started busking in the subways of New York City, and that's how they gained a bit of notoriety. And they've only been together for a short period of time. I think the Freelance Whales have been together for as long as StarKid has, and it's been a very short period of time. And for a band that's been together that short to play Coachella is pretty cool. So my brother and I have been kind of on parallel platforms, and it's been really special for both of us. So.
How old is he? Is he younger?
He just turned 26. Just turned 26 on April 15th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Not old enough to be like beating up on you or anything.
No. My brother and I are extremely close. No. I miss my brother dearly every day, and he's honestly one of my best friends. And yeah, a year and a half apart. So is Irish twins? Is that like the term? And I heard that somewhere. If you're like Irish twins, no. Okay, never mind.
No, anybody?
Anybody? We're Irish twins. We'll just say that. I heard that somewhere. I like that concept.
That's cute. Adorable again. All right, so let's go to the Twitter questions because we have so many of them. Fickle Pucker wants to know.
Ooh, Fickle Pucker. I see the name all the time.
Really?
Fickle Pucker. You are not so fickle. In fact, you're very persistent.
People always recognize the handles. You're known for singing Teenage Dream, of course. What was your teenage dream when you were a teenager?
My teenage dream when I was a teenager? I don't know. What do you dream when you're a teenager? I don't know, having a car and, driving around town, you try desperately to be cool. That was my dream. Yeah, just trying to be a badass in whatever capacity you can, but failing utterly because you're a teenager. So I don't know. My dream was, playing music and doing what I've been able to do, truly, to get really mushy. I mean, if I may, I feel like I am sort of living my teenage dream. It's a pretty incredible feeling. Yeah, to get real for a sec. Yeah, this is my teenage dream. I'm very blessed. Yeah.
And let's see, Robbie 442 says, could you tell us what you're going to sing for the Glee tour? We can't wait to see you in London.
My answer is, can you tell me what I'm singing for the Glee tour? Because we're going on it very soon, and I have no idea at all. We're very last minute on Glee. So in the best way possible. We're spontaneous, I should say that. That sounds a little better.
It's not even last minute. It's just
there's a lot. There's so many things that are going on. Exactly. I mean, I don't want to say we're disorganized because we're certainly not. It's an incredibly well-oiled machine. But there's a lot to be done, and we won't go into rehearsals or be even in any kind of discussion as to what's going on in the tour until close to right before we go. So because when the season ends, we have to take a little bit of a break. Otherwise, we're shooting and working on Glee all year round. So I don't know. We'll find out. I really don't know. And I look forward to know. I'm so excited for the tour. I cannot wait. I come from live performance. I love theater. I love playing my own venues with my band or by myself. There's nothing like the immediate connection between fans. I mean, we have things like this where you're on the internet and we're kind of connecting via sort of intangible things, phones and internet lines, but when you're actually in a room with somebody performing in real time, like that is where it's at. So I'm so psyched.
Awesome. Candy XKYO wants to know, what is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal would definitely be. People are laughing, but to me, that's like a completely normal, healthy question. I would say a dolphin. Um, dolphin.
Why?
I don't know. Have you ever seen a dolphin? They're sweet.
Okay.
I really don't know how to continue to explain that
Sure.
unless you're unfamiliar with the animal kingdom. Dolphins are awesome and they like to have fun.
They're very smart.
And there's maybe then I should not really. Maybe I'm not.
fine.
I wouldn't say. I'd say most dolphins are smarter than me because they're hanging out in oceans like dancing and jumping around, being groovy, while I'm like working my butt off as a human being. So I don't know. I would like to emulate the joy of a dolphin.
Okay.
So maybe that's
That
like what I would aspire my spirit animal to be.
Sharori wants to know, what role would you like to play in either a musical theater show or a movie?
Well, I'm sort of a goofy dude, and I it's really easy to be pigeonholed for your personality. However, all goofing aside and all banter aside, I'm an actor. I studied, you know, the craft of acting, and I'd like to think I'm just as malleable as the next trained actor. So I don't really know. As an artist, you're kind of inherently a mercenary. I will give whatever is offered to me. I can't kind of sit around and say, I shall do Hamlet.
Right.
It's what people will allow you to do. So
I mean, as a fan, are you more into like action movies? Are you into
no,
comedy?
I believe in storytelling.
Yeah.
I like strong characters. And I've been I've said this a million times, but I can't say it enough. I've been extremely lucky because Blaine is a damn good character, and it has nothing to do with me. It's a very well written, strong character that has, meaning on a greater social level, and it's so much bigger than the show itself. So
Yeah.
I've basically scored my dream role at a very early age, and it's terrifying because I'm like, oh, crap, it's all downhill from here. So I don't know. We'll see what things open up. I mean, I like being a little bit of everything. I think I'm a believer in the fact that we are all everybody. We're all evil. We are all wonderful. We are all meek. We are all strong. So it's like, it's just a matter of somebody offering a part that'll let me tap into one of those people, and I'd be happy with it.
Okay. Speaking of Blaine, Elena Rusalka wanted to know anything you relate to about the character's strengths or insecurities or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think, if you're not insecure as a teenager, then you're not a human being. Which is not to say if you're confident that you are inhuman. We all have insecurities, and Blaine's particular insecurities have to do sort of with his own personal struggles with his sexuality. I was pretty confident I was straight, so I didn't have that conflict. But there are other internal conflicts as far as, that I fought just like everyone else. It was, like appearances and stuff. And but something that I'm very fond of saying is, I've always been a fan of embracing that which makes you different, because it is what makes you most powerful. So the things that made me insecure are the things that I tried to really own as much as possible. At least when I was in high school. Was the question particular high school, or was it just in
No,
general?
just in general, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's. Obviously, I'm not currently. I'm in my 20s. I'm not a teenager in an all-boys school. But there are things that are kind of universal. I mean, man, it's tough. I mean, that's a heavy question. I'd say on the flip side, there are things about him that inspire me, that I can't necessarily relate to, but like wish I was more like. I think he's a very strong-willed guy, considering how much turmoil has been sort of implied about his previous life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of strength there that I wish I had sometimes. But that's a good question. I have to really that's a really good question. I gotta think about that.
A couple people have asked about kind of how you feel about sort of being a role model. You are straight, you're playing a gay character. Do you feel like a role model in a way, or is that a weird sort of way to put it?
That is a weird way to put it. I'm very touched, and I certainly hope that God, I mean, that I can do that title some sort of justice. That is as much of a burden as it is in a very empowering position. If I am in fact, if what you say is true, and if I've been placed in a role model position, I think it's again because of a part that was written for me. I think the real role models here are the people who have created Blaine and stepped up to the plate. That Glee has become, and quite unexpectedly so, this soapbox for a lot of ideals, sociopolitically or just general universal ideas of acceptance and inclusiveness. So I think they stepped up to the plate with offering a character like Blaine, and I'm just lucky to be the sort of poster child for their motives. I happen to be very passionate about the social political package that Blaine is involved in. So if I am, I certainly hope I don't screw it up. I mean, I believe in a lot of the things that Blaine stands for, and that is completely separate. Even if I didn't play Blaine on TV, I would be just as vocal and just as supportive of those ideals. But it's strange. I mean, it's strange. It's like if someone calls you a superhero, you're like, I know I'm not. I mean, I don't really have any superpowers at all. But if someone believes that, then it's your duty to do your best to do justice to it. So
Right.
I'm trying my best, guys. I certainly hope I don't screw it up.
And Kurt Hummel is not a bad boyfriend to have on
He's
screen
not.
either.
He's not at all. He's not. And Criss is an incredible person. I'm going to an event tonight where Criss is being honored in Time Magazine as 100 most influential people. I mean,
That's
the kid's 20 years old. He's done more in the past few years than I've done in my lifetime, and he's just an incredible guy. Yeah, so the fact that I get to kind of be tied to somebody, to a personage of that magnitude is just incredible. It's incredible.
Do you know where the relationship evolves from here? I feel like it evolved at a really natural pace.
I don't know.
Nice.
Ryan Murphy said something great before Blaine even showed up, which was if and when he does have a boyfriend, he would hope that the relationship would be just as delicate, just as flawed, just just as normal as any relationship is on life or on something as heightened as Glee. I mean, the same rules apply. Relationships are very fun, beautiful, tough things. So, we are in the honeymoon stages and we are at the end of the season. So I think right now we're going to kind of ride the happy wave for a little bit. But, if they do decide to have me back for season 3 and if I'm around, then I imagine things could go either way, but I just hope they continue to grow and learn from each other. And the cool thing about them is, yes, they are a young male gay relationship. However, that's almost secondary to the fact that they are these two strong characters that have finally gotten what they've both wanted, and I think that's the really beautiful thing. So I don't know. I hope they can just, like I said, continue to learn from each other. I think that'll be the most important thing.
You guys be like the Jim and Pam of Glee.
Yeah, hopefully.
Everyone else is all over the place.
Yeah,
love triangles.
That's a perfectly cool example
like
to
that.
follow. Yeah,
Personally, I would love that.
I'd be down with that too.
Hannah Catherine too wants to know, what's your favorite album of all time? You have great music taste, so I would love to know.
Thank you. I have a ton. I mean, that's like asking what your favorite movie is, because taste is basically just contextualized preference. Like, so there's like nostalgia. There's like when you heard it, who were you with when you heard it. Yeah. There are songs that we like that are like lame, or movies that are lame that you love because you saw it with that that special someone or whatever. So I don't know. For me, albums that like kind of because I want to sound cool and tell you something really interesting and like kind of subversive, but to be honest, I mean, probably Rubber Soul. I mean, Beatles albums are kind of go-to, agreed upon, amazing records. And no, I mean, I'm not defending myself.
Of your Rubber Soul choice.
I'm thinking of I'm picturing all my records like sitting around, and be like, what about me, Darren? You always say you love me the most. So. Because I add personality to all my inanimate
you're
objects.
living in a Disney movie.
Because I live in because I'm crazy. Take that role
I'm just
model.
saying that because
Insane.
you love Disney movies. Just for people who don't know,
I do love Disney movies, but let's not make this exclusive to Disney movies. I think I'm just a generally a big fan of the fantastical and absurd. I think that's
Okay.
just generally how I roll. So back to my my lifelike inanimate object records talking to me in my head. I would say Rubber Soul. I mean, I was a big British Invasion fan as a kid, and the only two things I cared about in my formative years was Star Wars and the Beatles. That's the only thing I spent my money on, and it just meant the world to me. So I collected everything Beatles, and Rubber Soul was just a huge record for me. Where I was like, I cannot believe that people can create something as amazing as this.
Yeah,
It was like a just epiphany for me. Like, man, I gotta try and be as much like this as possible. So I'd say Rubber Soul. There's other ones, but that's for another day.
Are you a Harry Potter nerd too? Like before the show, were you? Because a couple people, like Dana Loves Glee, wanted to know why were you inspired to make a musical about it. Catherine Barbie wanted to know who your favorite Harry Potter character is. Like, do you?
Um, Jeez. Yeah, I was always a Harry Potter fan for sure.
Okay.
You know, I have met far bigger fans of it, and people really expect me to be this huge fan. And of course, I am. You know, StarKid, we always say we fell like sort of ass backwards into this amazing fan community that definitely knew the franchise 20 times better than we did. But we do love it. I mean, I grew up with Harry Potter. I remember waiting in line for the fourth book. So this was before the movies came out. Like I felt like I kind of grew up with Harry. Yeah, I was a big fan for sure. I mean, the musical, I'm just a fanboy. Like I said, I'm keen on fantasy and sci-fi. So, you know, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, sort of like the top 40 of like go-to big adventure fantasy franchises. Like we always made musicals of those, and
Right.
just as a joke because we're nerds. So Harry Potter happened to be the last one we did before we graduated. But yeah, I did like it. We did it because it's fun. I mean, we love being silly and we love each other. So that was just happened to be our outlet was Harry Potter. Favorite character I would say is get back to me. Ask me at the end and I'll think about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All right. Glee for Life wants to know, what do you keep in your trailer or dressing room? Any notes, mementos?
I don't have a trailer.
Dressing room.
Because I do,
Stool.
but I'm not like one of the main guys on the
Okay.
show. They
I
move me
guess,
around
yeah.
a bit. So some of the other guys have like cool like art and like pictures of family and stuff, and like they leave things in there. I have like my duffel bag that I bring every day. That's it's like my lap. It's pretty boring. I wish I could tell you I brought like my pet monkey and like my other things. I wish I had a pet monkey. But I don't know. I don't bring water, my laptop. Pretty boring. Sorry guys.
Really boring.
I could lie. I bring magical beans. I don't know.
Okay. Who has like the most shrine-esque dressing room?
Chris
in-
Colfer.
What's-
Club Chris. Chris has this little club situation in his trailer where he's got a little disco ball, he's got all the laser lights and a lot of fun stuff, and every now and then they'll have like a dance party at Club Chris if he
Nice.
lets you in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So would I. I don't think I'm cool enough to get in there. I've been in there once, but that was like my first day of work, and I think they were just being nice to the new guy.
Yeah. Accio Caitlin wants to know.
Oh, it's Osseo, Caitlin.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I read Harry Potter books.
Oh, I just outed myself as a.
Accio, depending on what
Potter
your
amateur.
background is. To this day, I don't
Okay.
know if it's Accio or Osseo.
I'm sorry, Harry Potter fans.
That's cool,
But,
no worries.
what is the strangest thing you read about yourself online? Rumor.
Strangest things I ever read about myself online. I read a lot of strange things that people will send me. I try and stay away from it. It's very toxic. There's a lot of things that like I hate. Big pet peeve, being misunderstood. So which is terrible because I'm in the wrong business because it's just what's going to happen inevitably all the time. People just write the most bonker things ever of just where they just don't really know like what they're talking about or who I am, which is unfortunate. I can't really name instances, or nor do I want to call any specific things out because sometimes it's not like a malicious intent. It's just like you don't. That's not true at all, which is the worst because there's nothing you can do about it, and you're like, all right, well, let's just kind of hope the people who know me know that this is incorrect, and we'll just move on.
Yeah.
I've read some silly things, but I can't even remember. But they definitely pile up, and I just forget about it just because.
Yeah.
It's so
You
silly.
have to.
It's annoying, yeah.
In B flat wants to know, have you ever asked for someone's autograph? If
Oh,
not,
yeah.
like who makes you starstruck,
Oh
basically?
my God, I get starstruck so easily. Everybody does. I mean, it depends on the situation. Like, if you're at an event or something where it's, maybe a little more formalized and you meet somebody, but you knew they were there, then you have sort of time to kind of prepare yourself for that, as opposed to like meeting somebody on the street. But my coolest encounter that my buddy Ricky and I had, it's my favorite stories to tell. I was at the American Music Awards,
Uh-huh.
and I was waiting to go down the red carpet, and they kept telling me to stop because they had like legitimate, actual, like real people coming in front of me. So I was like fine with it. Like, sorry, Mr. Chris, we have to let Miss Rihanna go. I was like, please let her go. Absolutely. Can I get her anything? Can I get her coffee? And then so Rihanna had to do her thing, and then and I was gonna go like, oh, I'm sorry, Sir Darren, Usher's here. Sweet, Usher's here too. Nice. And so I'm just kind of talking with my friend Ricky. Dude, Usher's here. And before we know, Usher is standing right here. He's got his shades on. He's got that look on his face because he's.
Did you have your shades on? Your pink?
I think I did, but
Okay.
that's neither here nor there. He was just
Trying
kind
to
of
get visual.
chilling. He got that kind of Usher smile, the kind of smile where it's like he knows he's a badass, so it's like everything's
Yeah.
good for him all the time. So he just kind of looks over and just sticks out his fist and he's like, good to see you. And then he kept walking. And so me and my buddy fist pounded him. We're like, Usher didn't know who the hell we were. But it doesn't matter because it's so cool to be Usher that it's just good to see everybody. Because it means that if I'm looking at you, that means I'm alive and it means that I'm Usher. So it's good to see you. And he just peaced out. And I was like, that was the coolest encounter
He
I think
might
I've
know
ever
who
had.
you are. You never know.
I doubt it. I would put money on it. I mean, I don't care. I fist bumped Usher. I don't care if he thinks I'm like homeless.
All right, I want to breeze through two more really quick ones. If you could duet with anyone on the show, like a Gwyneth Paltrow, say.
I'm gonna
who would it be?
reiterate. You said duet, not duet, right?
Duet.
Okay, good. Anyway, if I could duet with anybody,
Yes.
with anybody on the show, I would duet with. I don't know. I'd say Dot Jones. She's one of my favorite people. She plays Coach Beast.
Yes.
I would
That
do
be
it
awesome.
really hardcore with Dot Jones.
You just touched the Glee fan inside of me.
Oh, I'm
actually.
glad.
I'm
yeah.
Very excited.
No, Dot Jones is like.
Can you get Ryan Murphy on the phone right now?
I
and
could.
make
I
it
could.
happen? What would you sing with Beast?
I don't know. What would we sing? I don't know. Something really silly. Because yeah, Dot and I always joke, when are we gonna get our little spin-off where Blaine Anderson and Coach Beast have to get an apartment together in New York, the most unlikely of roommates. Hilarity ensues. Then we'll write a really cool theme song and just be like the Odd Couple except with
Please
a
make that happen.
gay
Sorry.
teenager and a scary football coach. I think that'd be great. I'm sorry, I'm writing this all down in my head
Yeah,
for
I
later.
hope so.
But that would be really cool.
Okay. And lastly, do you have any advice for any young singers, songwriters, actors out there?
Yeah, keep at it. That's all I can say. I mean, we live in an age where it's incredibly easy to put yourself out there, far more than it was as little as 5-6 years ago. I mean, YouTube is still pretty young. There was a time where it didn't exist. I say that, I mean, because YouTube has done marvels for myself and for my company, and there are so many outlets and people around it. I mean, just surround yourself with creative people, surround yourself with people that inspire you, and just keep at it. Especially for songwriters and for singers and musicians, it's like, do you have any advice? It's like, yeah, play music all the time. Meet people who play music, find venues, do it. Do it as much as humanly possible. Get used to what it's like to play live and workshop your songs. Be open to criticism. Be open to ideas all the time. I mean, the advice I can give now is, I feel like I'm a little more warranted to than I was, a few years ago, because before it was really tough to kind of get out there. But now it's easy, just find somebody with a computer, press record, and that's a pretty decent recording.
Yeah.
So, just do it. Just go. Just keep going. The only person who's really going to stop you is you. And then, at least you have kind of a backlog of content that you can make yourself. And then if and when you decide to be more serious, you can, when you want to take it to the next level, you have it, you know, concrete stuff that you can take to, you know, I don't know, record labels, I don't know, depending on where you are or what you want to do with your life. But yeah, just do it, man.
Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
A duet.
Or duet with Don Jones.
All right. That's all the time we have, unfortunately. But thank you again so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thanks, guys.
You can catch Darren on Glee tonight. I'm sure you're on the hour and a half long episode. It's 8 p.m. on Fox. He's going to be on tour with Glee in the summer, Europe and U.S. And if you missed any of this live Q&A, you can come check back billboard.com tomorrow. We'll have the archive video up. So thanks again for watching.
Thanks for joining, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.